You'd think playing a solo Lone Wolf run in Battle Brothers means you have to take the Lonewolf Perk. I mean, makes sense, right? A fat 15% boost to all stats when you're all alone. But here's the thing, I wanted a real challenge and I didn't plan on staying alone forever. So no Lonewolf Perk, no resolve investment, no early game trash recruits to fall back on, just raw skill, strategy and sheer willpower. Could I survive long enough to make it matter? Now this just wasn't any run, it was a trial by fire. And just like in the legend of King Arthur, the first knight had to prove himself worthy before assembling his legendary brotherhood. This was my test, this was my challenge. Now this Lone Wolf is a rare Pokemon, blessed with the strong and quick traits. Well, they're not the most powerful traits to have, they do provide a solid boost to initiative. For this challenge, I'm experimenting with turning him into a fencer. And to complete the legend, I need to find a famed fencing sword. Yes, my very own Excalibur, just like in King Arthur's tale. Surviving alone in Battle Brothers is brutal. There's no backup, no second chances. Just you, your blade, and the cruel dice rolls of mercenary life. All it takes is one single mistake and it's all over. In the early game, everything is a threat. A single tug can ruin your run. One misstep, you're probably dead. This wasn't about rushing in and hoping for the best, no. It was about playing smarter, not harder. Positioning is everything in Battle Brothers. I had no meat shield recruits, but that also meant that I had no distractions. It was just me and my trusty dog companion. I had to rely on terrain, movement and enemy AI manipulation to create opportunities. This was the path of a true questing knight, outwitting foes, choosing battles wisely, and preparing for the day I would gather my own band of legendary warriors. So I start out with decent armor, a solid weapon and a strategy. Never engage unless I have an advantage. That means avoiding large groups and, whenever possible, fighting alongside friendly roaming parties or hunting isolated enemies while using terrain to my advantage. Just like a knight before his quest begins, I had to master the art of war. Now, enemies aren't dumb, but they're predictable. Once you understand how they move, you can lead them into traps, bait attacks, and dismantle them piece by piece. I try my best to never get surrounded and morale broken. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were moments where I got too overconfident, moments where I miscalculated, moments where I nearly lost everything, like this fight. By day 50 I wasn't scraping by in every fight anymore. The weak and meek no longer scared me, although the danger of being resolve checked was still a real threat in every battle. I needed a real companion. And no, not a war dog, I needed another bro chat to watch my back. My skill was getting better, my strategies were becoming refined. I got the scout retinue, which helped immensely with picking fights on my own terms. And this wasn't just about me anymore, it was time to build something greater, the Knights of the Round Table. Not just any warriors, the strongest of the strong, the Giga Chads of Battle Brothers. But the question remains, did I make it all the way? Or did the mercenary life finally claim me before I managed to reach my goal? One thing's for sure, I didn't need the Lonewolf Perk, I didn't need high resolve. I just needed to master the fundamentals of the game. And this was only the beginning. So, do I start assembling my legendary order? Do I take on the biggest threats in the game? Do I push this run to its absolute limit? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see where this goes next, hit that like button and subscribe, because this legend is just getting started. In the next episode, Chapter 1, The Knight and the Kingsguard Cripple.